are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You told me once, dear, you really loved me, and no one else, dear, could come between. Now you've left me and love another. You have shattered all my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Well, howdy do, buckaroo. Welcome to the Rick and Margie Show. I'm Rick.
And I'm Margie.
It's nice to visit with you again. Well, we've been singing and playing old music ever since we got together. Even when we were young.
That's right.
We liked the older songs.
That's right.
They're just so much fun. Well, this is a song, the song we just sang, You Are My Sunshine. That was a big hit for Gene Autry.
Yeah.
And lots of other folks, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this next song was done by Elvis himself. I'm talking about Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll.
That's right.
And I used to sing this song to Margie when we were a-courtin'. I don't know if it did the trick, but, it didn't hurt. There's nothing like a good love song to help a fella like me who's very shy and very quiet and sensitive, to help him express his feelings for his lady. Because every time I would try to tell her how I felt, I would go, that's all, folks. I turned into Porky Pig. But this is a beautiful love song called I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? like the river flows surely to the sea. Darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like the river flows surely to the sea. Darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. You know, there's nobody quite like Elvis when it comes to singing, pretty love songs.
That's right.
In fact, a lot of his songs get me all shook up. Well, when I was a boy, my daddy played the guitar. I remember just about every night when he came home from work, he was all worn out from the day, and he was a little agitated, I'll have to say. He had a very stressful job. But he was a great provider. That job made him, a lot of money. And so we had a real nice house and a nice place to live. And I've always appreciated my daddy for that. Yeah. But he would grab his guitar after work, and he would sit down on the couch, just like we are right here. And he would just start singing and playing whatever came to mind. He didn't read music. He just played by ear. And I told him one time, I said, Dad, why don't you just use your hands? He said, hey, you're a smart aleck, you know that? But my daddy loved Johnny Cash, and he loved, country music. And this is a song that Johnny Cash is known for. It's called I Walk the Line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day's through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. because you're mine. I walk the line. Now that's a real pretty song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, nobody could sing a song like Johnny Cash. He goes way down low.
That's right.
You know, the best time to sing a Johnny Cash song is when I'm just getting over a cold. But unfortunately, I feel great today. So I can't quite hit the low notes. So here are some pictures of the ocean. We only go to one at a time, actually.
Right.
I just love seeing the waves, and it's windy. I love seeing all the different kinds of birds.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, the ocean covers about 71% of the Earth's surface. Now that's a big wave right there.
Yeah.
That makes me think of that show Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah, it does.
Book 'em, Dano. Well, you know, the ocean's divided into 5 main oceans: the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, the Southern, and the Arctic. And there's Flipper saying hello. Hi, Flipper.
Hey, Flipper.
Of course, the Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest of all the oceans. Well, what a beautiful sunrise or sunset.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you're in California, it'd be the sunset.
Right, right.
If you're at Myrtle Beach, that'd be the sunrise.
There you go.
We've been to both, actually.
Yeah.
We used to travel in our camper, and we got to go to Oregon and Washington State.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful out there.
It really is.
And now we live in West Virginia.
That's right.
And we're very thankful to be in West Virginia because our son and his family live here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sailing is a lot of fun. Now, Margie, you had a sailboat when you were young, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
My parents, actually. But, you know, it was a lot of fun. It's just so relaxing being on the ocean.
Well, I know it's relaxing, but there's a lot of work to do. You got to raise the mainsail. You got to put up the spinnaker and the jig or whatever.
The jib.
The jib. I don't know. I'm a landlubber myself.
Oh, I know. Starboard and port, all that stuff.
I still can't keep those straight.
Right. That's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. You know, the ocean is so vast.
It really is.
You know, the deepest point in the ocean in the whole world is called the Mariana Trench, and it reaches over 36,000 feet deep.
Wow, it's amazing.
There's some jellyfish. You don't want to get stung by those.
No.
Is there such a thing as a peanut butter fish?
There should be.
That'd make a nice sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, the little pipers.
Yeah. I love sandpipers. They're so much
Oh, me
fun.
too. They are so cool.
I like the way they chase the waves back and forth.
Yeah. There's so many different kinds of life in the ocean. There's tiny plankton, there's giant whales, and this cute turtle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really neat.
They just glide right through the water.
Yeah. I think they like to ride on the currents.
Yeah, that's right. There are currents that run way down in the oceans, and it just it's amazing how diverse and how many different aspects there are to it.
Yeah.
Well, those lighthouses are cool. Well, you know, Marge and I have been singing this next song ever since we met, because this is probably the most popular song that John Denver ever did.
Yeah.
And you know, we live in West Virginia. We live deep in the heart of West Virginia.
That's right.
And this song is very popular in this neck of the woods. It's called Take Me Home, Country Roads. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, and all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, darkened misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads. I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads. Well, far out, as John Denver was wont to say.
That's right.
I used to like the cool glasses that he wore, but unfortunately my eyes are pretty good. So. Well, you know, John Denver had such an effect on music. He was a great guitar player, a great songwriter, and a great singer.
Yeah.
I remember getting to go see him when I was about 12 years old.
Huh.
My daddy got tickets to go see John Denver at the Capitol Center near Washington, D.C. That's where we lived at the time. And I remember we were up in the nosebleed section, but my daddy thought of everything. He brought binoculars with us. He had a pair in his pocket, and we were looking at through these little, I guess they're more like opera glasses. We were looking at, hey, I can see the back of John Denver's head. But it was a great show, and he did all his hits, and he did that song, Take Me Home, Country Roads. And ever since I was little, I've always loved all things Western. I used to watch Gunsmoke and The Lone Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
And the Cisco Kid. I remember at the end of every episode, Pancho, who was the Cisco Kid's sidekick, he would come up, both of them would ride up to the camera at the end of the show, and they'd wave their hats and they'd say, "Adios, amigos, we'll see you next week." And they would come back next week to solve more crimes. But somebody that I've also always loved is Roy Rogers.
Yeah.
And he did a song that was a real big hit, a song written by Cole Porter called Don't Fence Me In. Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies above, and don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in. Just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western skies. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. Can't look at hobbles and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western skies. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see those mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. Can't look at hobbles and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Well, yeehaw!
That's right.
You know what? Roy Rogers was known as King of the Cowboys.
That's right.
But Gene Autry was known as Public Cowboy Number One. Mm-hmm. Not to get the two confused. But I love both of them. And I just love Western music. He inspired a whole generation of people to want to sing and play music. Now here he is here in a movie called The Arizona Kid. Now Roy Rogers was actually born by the name Leonard Sly in 1911 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now here he is here getting held up by a chimpanzee. He told folks later, I didn't even see it coming. But he learned, never to trust, a cute little face. Because the next thing you know, you're handing over your billfold. Here he is with a beautiful leading lady, and he was in about 100 movies over the course of his career.
Amazing.
And you always knew two things were going to happen in a Roy Rogers movie. He was going to get the bad guy, and he was going to get the girl.
That's right.
Now there's his wife, Dale Evans. And he actually met her on the set of a movie. Mm-hmm. And they started to date, and they fell in love, and the rest is history. Mm-hmm. They had a very long, happy marriage. Now, Roy Rogers would travel the country with his horse, Trigger, and he would do rodeos and state fairs all over the country. And he put on quite a show. Now, he was known for singing a song called Happy Trails that his wife, Dale Evans, wrote. That was their theme song. Because they had a TV show back in the 1950s. It was on for quite a while. And it starred Roy, his wife, Dale, and there was a man named Pat Brady. Now, here's Roy and Dale meeting President Reagan back in the 1980s. They certainly were nice people.
Yeah.
I remember we were singing at a place years ago, and this lady came up to us afterward and said that she and her husband had met Roy and Dale when they were camping out in California. And she said they were just the nicest people. Well, Roy Rogers really became a major American cultural icon, and he, representing the Western hero image. He always stood up for the little guy, and he defended people, and he always fought for what was right. And he really embodied, to me, good Christian American values.
That's right.
Yeah, there's his handprints and his boot prints, and that's in the Grauman's Theater out in Hollywood. Now, he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, not once, but twice. Once for being in the movies, and then twice for being with Sons of the Pioneers. Now, that's a band he started back in the early 1930s. And he was just known as an overall great guy. And on his TV show, the Roy Rogers Show, they had a Jeep called Nellie Bell that was always breaking down at the worst possible time. Something I also love is old hymns. I was kind of raised by a mother who loved old hymns. Now, my daddy loved country music, and he liked hymns too, but he was more of a country guy, even though he was raised in the Bronx. But I think because the city was so different than the West, and I guess seeing it on TV, he just loved Westerns too. I think he loved the idea of going out west and riding a horse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even though he lived in the concrete jungle.
That's right.
But my mother loved old hymns, and she played the piano, and this is a song that she taught me when I was a boy. Now, do you want to do the solo in G or in E?
In G sounds
In
good.
G. Then we'll change keys. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. The Lord has promised good to me, His word my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Well, what a great song.
Yeah.
Well, it's always so nice to visit with you. We sure hope you've enjoyed this program. Margie and I love, singing for folks like you.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because you're a nice person. But the other thing is that you like good music.
That's right.
I've been to a lot of places, especially restaurants these days, where they just don't like good music.
Yeah,
I find that really bad music interferes with my digestion.
that's right.
Gives me heartburn. Well, until we meet again, my friend, I'd like to wish you a happy day. In fact, this is a song that we do. And have a happy day. Have a happy day. As you go your way, smile for someone and say, have a happy day. Thanks for stopping by. I really love your smile. I'm so glad we're friends. Please come back again and have a happy day. Have a happy day as you go your way. Smile for someone and say, have a happy day.